share our thoughts, our insights, our love, our kindness, and really being vulnerable uh, in the larger group, especially with our brothers and sisters here today. Thank you so much, Bhagavan, for sharing so much of love, so much of kindness, so much of compassion. And we really hope and pray that from this satsang, we all are able to transform our hearts, transform our minds, and ultimately transform the world. And with that, let's start our session and we shall continue from where we left the last time around. Okay. Last week we discussed Om Sri Sai Abhaya Pradai Namaha, salutations to Sri Sai, who grants fearlessness. And then there was a passage. So I'll just briefly read the passage. Bhagavan Sri Satyasai Baba is the bestower of fearlessness and on all who have faith in him. When you have full faith, God will surely help you and make you fearless. People who have faith in God will never be let down. One of Baba's most famous words, which he has shared since his days in Shirdi, are why fear when I am here. Dr. Hislop then asks, Baba says, why fear when I am here? That must have a wide and deep meaning. Will Baba speak of it? Swami says, I am, refers to the self Atma, who is always everywhere. The Atma is like the lion without fear. Fear refers to the body, which is subject to worry, depression, trembling, and fear. Body is like a sheep, wavering this way and that way. Body is always looking for information, gathering information, questioning, whereas Atma, like the lion, is full of courage and without fear. Atma is God. You are God. God is omnipresent. This I is you. That I is you. You are all. As long as we believe we are the body, we will be subjected to fear. The greater the faith in our inherent divinity, the lesser fear we will have. When we realize I, the Atma, we will be fearless. Man is the self, embodied, Atma Swarupa. That is fearlessness embodied, Abhaya Swarupa. If he knows his real nature, he will give no room for weakness or cowardice. Thus, according to Sri Sathya Sai Baba, we can attain true fearlessness by realization of the self. What practical everyday steps can we take to realize the self? The way to realize divinity that is in everyone is to cultivate love, which is the only divine trait. There are three sides to love, forming a triangle. They are love gives and never receives, love is fearless, love is changeless. The love that develops between a mother and a child or a husband and wife is subject to change as it pertains to the body. It is only illusion. Brahma. You should become Brahma, shedding Brahma. The divinity in you is changeless, blemishless, without beginning or end. Just as adobe removes the dirt in a cloth and restores its original whiteness by washing with soap beating it on stone, man should try to regain his vision of the pure, effulgent self, Atma, by washing his heart in the water of love with the soap of steadfast faith, Shraddha, on the stone of sacrifice, Tyaga. This is the way to realize one's inner reality, which is truth, wisdom, eternity, divinity. Satyam Jnanam Anandam Brahma. Self-reflection question. What is the difference between having your fears removed by Baba and being fearless? What do you think Baba means when he says love is fearless? Okay, we shall get into the self-reflection very soon.
When I was in
So we have gone through the two voices in us. We always have the voice of the true self, which is courageous, calm, and ever present. The sheep, it is prone to worry, doubt, and wavering because that is when the mind identifies to uh, the body, which is the sheep. And the body, when the mind is very identified to the body, what happens is that the thoughts that come out in the mind are also um, at a very deep level aimed at preserving the body identity, which is preserving the individual identity, which is preserving the ego. So when we say about worry, doubt, and wavering, why do we worry? Why do we worry? We only worry if we perceive or if we believe or if we are convinced that we are an individual. But if you come to realize that you are one with every other human, every other living and sentient being on this planet, that conscious I am, which you experience within you, is similar to every other living and sentient being on this planet, then naturally your mind will start to um, disidentify with the limited identity of the body and start to move towards the Atmic consciousness. And from that identification or from that association with the Atmic consciousness, then your mind gives you the sense of courageous thoughts, calmness, and ever present in your life. So the transition or the self-transformation happens when our mindset no longer sticks to shying away, running away. It's okay, lah, brother. No, it's okay, never mind. Or like, I just come to the center. I just do center work. No, not saying center work is it's not good. Of course, it's good. It gets you closer to Swami and brings you a lot of joy and bliss. That's no doubt about that. But how long are you going to stay in the comfort zone? I'm very sure we all know people, or we ourselves are very accustomed to just staying in our comfort zone. We don't want to go out of our comfort zone, and we don't like it if people penetrate our comfort zone as well. So, in that comfort zone is actually the false um, or illusion that the ego creates, like the bubble that the ego creates, so that you don't realize that you are beyond the body. And so the whole point of self-transformation, when Swami chisels us and Swami tests us and Swami gives us so much of challenges in life, it's because he wants us to break that comfort zone, at least in my experience. Um, he wants us to step out of the comfort zone and, hey, why have you been thinking that you are the sheep all the while? You are really the lion. And once you come to that realization that you are the lion, then there's no difference between um, you and an Atmic conscious person or someone who just move forward uh, without being affected by fear. And so we come back to this picture here. If you look at this picture, you will realize that for most of us, when we look when we look in the mirror, we see a reflection of ourselves. We see our eyes, we see our face, we see our nose, our hair, the shirt that we're using, the body. Oh, I put on some weight here, put on some weight there. That's the normal thoughts that come into the mind. But if you realize that the same you, you meaning you, all your sheets and your true self or if all of it originated from the Big Bang, every single particle in your body, every single cell in your body, every um, atom of energy in the body, every organ in the body, um, the airs, the gases, the values, and everything, literally the entire body is a reflection of the entire cosmos itself. And it's because we don't delve deeper into these aspects, and our mind still sees the body as an identity, as something real. But deeper than the body, the cells, the genetic compositions of our forefathers, who are currently our ancestors, who are actually living within us. And so if you watched this very recent movie, a Tamil movie, called Itli Kada, I think, by Dhanush on Netflix, you will realize there's one part where uh, the entire family prays to an ancestral uh, Kuladevan. Kuladevan is for a period of time, a few generations. Your family and your ancestors have all been praying to that particular deity, and that form of consciousness kind of is linked to all of you. And in that movie, uh, the movie starts off by Dhanush, the hero, who leaves the country, leaves India to Bangkok, and was living a very lavish lifestyle. He's about to get married to a millionaire's daughter, and he was really in love with her, and everything was going on well. Even though the family, his in-laws didn't treat him well, but he didn't care so much because he just wanted to focus on his career. He wanted money, he wanted fame, so he managed to get all of that. But one thing he never got was purpose in life. One thing he never got was purpose in life, because he went out looking for money, and he thought that by earning money, he can secure purpose in life, he can secure happiness in life. And so when he left his family, his parents, and he was abroad, he came to realize that his parents couldn't even attend his wedding. And just a few days before his wedding, his father passed away. And when his father passed away, and then he had this crisis, an existential crisis. I thought that I would get happiness by leaving my family, my motherland, and moving to another country to earn better money, to earn a better life, to live a better life. And why do I not feel that right now? I feel that emptiness within me. And so he travels back to India to visit to mourn for his father and also perform the final rites as the only son in the family. And so when he reaches India, and he starts to realize that his mother was in a state of shock, because the father is a very, I know the father is a very divine character. He's very kind. He's very compassionate. He's like an embodiment of divinity. Like when Swami says, we follow the human values. And so his father is a person like that. He's looked up in the entire village. And in that village, the father has a restaurant in Italy Kada. Italy Kada means a restaurant. It's a small shop selling idli, and the father makes the best idli because he doesn't use blender and all. He does it himself. Yeah. So and when he comes back, he realizes that uh, all these past memories, when he used to accompany his father to the shop, um, and so much of happiness, so much of purpose, so much of kindness, so much of compassion, which he never found elsewhere. He never found abroad. And so when he came back to his mother land, and he um, started to realize this, And why in this period, his mother also passed away. So he lost both his parents. And when he lost his parents, and he had to stay a longer period of time, and that's when he realized that the family, his in-laws who are in Bangkok, who are millionaires, they started to react very aggressively and very defensively. They said, "Oh, you're cheating my daughter, so you have left everything in Bangkok and you've gone there and you want to cancel the wedding." And that's when he realized that you will never get the love that you get and the meaning that you get from anyone else besides your own parents, besides your own ancestry love, that relationship, that kinship that comes. Sorry, yeah, 1 second. Okay. Um, okay. So what happens next is that um, he he then he realizes that he needs to uh, run the Italy Kadai because the father is no longer there, mother is also no longer there. So he has no choice but to run the Italy Kadai. And at that period of time, he has this spiritual vision, the vision that we get something similar to what we experience with Swami and so many other gurus and divine beings around us. He gets a spiritual vision uh, of his father. And his father says that, why are you looking outside? Why are you looking outside of yourself? Whatever you need to find is within yourself. All your ancestors from the beginning of time, they all live within you through your genetic material, through your genetic material. Your eyes may be similar to your great grandfather. Your nose may be similar to great 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 grandfather or great 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 grandmother. A particular trait of you must have been from this. So the entire creation itself is within you. And why are you looking outside? So similarly, if you look at this picture, you see that if you truly understand that you are actually the entire universe itself, embodied as Atma Swarupa, then you see the entire cosmos as you. In Jyoti meditation, if you realize the final step of Jyoti meditation is when you expand even beyond the body until the entire earth is filled with this consciousness of yours and this love of yours, this light of yours. And you are the center of this light. And even beyond that, you expand this light of love, even beyond that to all the neighboring planets and galaxies. Why? Why do we do that? Why do we expand our consciousness even beyond the planet? We are not crazy people. We are not like, delusional. No, it's because we are the entire cosmos. We are the entire cosmos. When you expand your consciousness even beyond the body, even beyond the earth, to include all the stars, the entire universe, then you come to realize that, hey, all the while I've been thinking I'm the sheep. Am I really the cosmos? Am I really the universe? And over a period of time, if you continue to do this, as your mind identifies and expands to the entire creation itself, you come to realize the belief that you're the body will automatically shed away. The belief that you are the universe, you are consciousness itself, you are God itself will be so strong within you that no comfort zone will limit you, will be able to limit you. You will start to break all forms of comfort zone. All the bubbles in your mind will all start to explode one by one, one by one, one by one. Because you start to realize that, hey, this bubble is confining me to the sheep, but I'm the lion. And so, dear brothers and sisters, let us, like what Swami says here, man is the self, embodied Atma Swarupa. That is fearlessness embodied, Abhaya Swarupa. If he knows his real nature, he will give no room for weakness or cowardice. If you see yourself just like this girl in this picture, you see yourself as the entire cosmos. Where is, in the whole cosmos, where is your worry? If you are the cosmos, where is your worry? If you are the cosmos, where are your doubts? If you are the cosmos, can the identity of the sheep still be present within you? So these are questions that you might want to reflect upon, dear brothers and sisters. So now let's move to a more interactive session here. Okay. So Swami in the letter says that how do we get there? He says the way of love. He says the path of realizing the self is cultivating divine love. And he says here that love gives, it does not receive. Love is fearless. Love is changeless. So now I'd like to invite anyone in the room, any one of you, to share any experience when you realize, okay, when you realize in your own experience being in the organization, participating in service activity, either one of these three, when did you realize that actually love gives, it doesn't receive? Or love is fearless, or love is changeless? Okay? Anyone? You can just unmute and share your experience. Don't worry, there are no right or wrong answers. Can be anything.
Sairam, brother.
Sairam, Sister Doreen.
Yeah, I'd like to share something which we experienced, a group of us experienced. That was in 2023, December. A group of us, about 12 of us, we wanted to go to the Sai school in Thailand to do pre-Christmas seva. So we had booked our tickets, and about 3 weeks before the trip, Sister Lorraine called us and said that 26 of the students and teachers had COVID. And so she felt she had to inform me so that we can make a decision whether to go or postpone the trip. So I discussed with our team members, but we were so, we wanted to go there to serve. We wanted to go there to be with the children. It was love on our part. And so the team of us decided we will not cancel, we will proceed. And we will chant Gayatri every day for them. And we did that. Then 2 days before the trip, we were told that the school was declared COVID-free. So we were very happy to proceed. And of course, when we arrived there, they welcomed us, but we had to all go through COVID tests. And we went to the school. Every day we could see Dr. Jumsai. We could interact with the children freely. We had a great time, with so much love with the children and the teachers. And Dr. Jumsai and his wife. And after 1 week, when everything, we were getting ready to go to the airport. So we departed for the airport. And when we arrived at the airport, we were told that COVID has returned to the school. One of the teacher's daughters had COVID. So Swami suspended COVID for 9 days just for our group to be there, to be physically able to meet and interact with Dr. Jumsai. Otherwise, they will not allow him to meet us. You know, if any one of us were not well or the children were not well, because he's in his 80s. And we really believe that because of the love we have, our entire team was able to go, and Swami protected that situation at that time. Just for 9 days, the school was COVID free. And when we reached back, we heard that, there were more children who were not well. So it was just just miraculous. And if Swami can do that, there is a reason for everything, you see. So thank you, Sairam. Thank you.
Sam, Sister Doreen, thank you so much for sharing that. And really, I think you touched upon all 3 points here, right? When love
Yeah.
gives and it doesn't receive, and how when it's fearless, when you thought that things are not going to work out, and you start chanting Gayatri, and then you start to expand your love, and everything went on well. And from the beginning till the end, you consistently felt this love of yours. Thank you so much, Mr. Dorian, for sharing that.
Sairam, thank you.
Anyone else who wants to share your thoughts? Sairam. Sairam, brother.
I think it happened that there was severe floods in Thailand, and it was told that one of the heaviest, so they were saying that like a water mass at the size of Sweden country was moving from the north to the south, and there were barriers made to protect the city, and different arrangements where pumps were put in the city and all. So we used to hear the news, but we were not that much interested. But then suddenly, one of the Balvika's teachers, she went to the morning class and came back and told us that I think we should do something because the whole country is facing a big challenge. So we said we are only 2 or 3 of us. How we can? It's such a big seva. How we can do it? So then we decided that okay, we are very few in numbers. Our resources are very less. At least we can make an attempt. So suddenly we found that the Red Cross were doing a big seva from Bangkok. They were taking the food and every material to the different part of the country. So two of us, my wife and myself, we went to the Red Cross, and then they told us, what do you want to do? What you want to give something? We said we want to give our service. So then they told us they do one thing. We are packing the food material. You be like on one station, and the volunteers will come with a plastic bag and you like toothpaste, matchbox, and all those are one, and then rice and the noodles which we can be cooked or something. And they're making the food packets for people to survive at least for a week or something. And when we stood in the line, they said, then we need some more people. So we called our friends, Sai devotees. And suddenly from 2, we became 12. And I think, see how the divine plans his work. So with 12 or 13, we learned how to make the packets for survival packs for the people to at least survive for 1 week. So that idea brought us some 12, 13 of us. And then it was decided that let's do a seva of our own. And we thought when we decided to do seva of our own, so I was told that why don't you ask in the office, because there are some Thai children or Thai people are there, maybe they can help. So I spoke to my secretary, and then she guided me to one Thai lady whose relation was in army, Thai army. So they said that yes, if you want to help, we can give you, but it should be sufficient amount of material which should go, because there are places where normal cars and the vehicles cannot go. So we have a 16 wheel truck, which is very high. You can go there, and from there, we will supply you small boats, and then you can go and supply to the material to all the people. But the second challenge came that where such money to, 16 wheel truck we filled with the food material. So it so happened that we just said that we are going for a seva, leave the flood victim. I don't know how normally people don't respond, but because of situation, we started getting called that from a small amount to big amount, and finally we could gather about nearly 100,000 baht. Is a good money for normally we used to do a service for 10,000, 15,000, but it was 100,000 money came. But our numbers were still 8 to 10. But the moment we said that we are going to this remote area where we have to go in a boat, so a lot of people got ready to come. And then all the ladies, all the SSC teachers, they went to buy the product, because the government were restricting to sell large amount of food products, because people may hoard it. So we have to go in large number, and we bought the stuff, and we with nearly 10, 15 of us people went to buy the food, and then finally we came. When then we learned how to make the pack, because we learned the tactics for making the packs from the Red Cross. But it so happened when we were about to next day we were supposed to go, we got a message that some of the factories, they have a chemical leaked out, and in Thailand we have a lot of crocodiles farms or something like that, and a lot of crocodiles they are running around here and there, so it will be dangerous for you all to go to do the seva. At the same time, snakes and everything are moving around, because there is no land for them to stay there. It was really scary, and we two of us were taking the responsibility. So it was really not a good idea to put everybody in danger to go for this seva. But somehow we said that we will tell people that this is happening. But nothing comes. We both of myself, my wife, we said we will go, but let others decide. But we are not going to hide the information. But you believe it or not, whoever heard this thing and they have promised, they all came. This is what I feel, that this is the power of love. That normally those people were scared, because if it's a small thing, they will not go. If there is some difficulty and like a flu or something, people stop, cancel their program. But it was a need for helping the people because we heard that people are stuck in the second floor, third floor, because ground floor are filled with water, and they don't have food, they don't have water. So it was such a fulfilling seva that we loaded the full truck, and when we reached the area, the water was black because of chemical. And it was in the middle of the road. You have to get onto the boat and take the supplies to the different deeper part of the city where nobody has gone. I still remember that we were going in a boat, and suddenly one lady with the water was till her neck, and somebody has given a food pack, and she was keeping on her head. Suddenly, one boat bent, and she was fully in the water. I don't know how she could breathe for some time. I thought she is gone. That was the situation. But luckily, she found a pole or something, and she held on to it. We were in the boat. We were safe. But we could see that the people from third floor, they'll drop the rope, and we tie those bundles of supplies and we send it up. Believe it or not, it was really scary to see that if the boat also collapses, we'll be thrown in the water. But still, I don't know how the strength came that now people need, and whatever we have brought, we have to supply. And this is what happened, that not a single person was hurt. There were stories of crocodiles, snakes, and all the things moving around. We none of could see. At the same time, the chemical, we went to the deep inside the water with the black water, but of course we washed up it after coming there. But the thing was, what I'm saying to say is that when that calamity came, we never thought that we will be in a normal case. We will not be. We are avoiding those things, but the fearlessness came in each and every member. None of them said that no, we are not going. It's a small thing they will cancel, but when this was situation, it was selfless situation. All people who have committed, they came, and we did not only one, two, but three sevas, big sevas were in different location, and the money kept pouring. Money kept pouring. That is the thing. So that's why I was saying that when the love comes for selflessness, I think it touches people's heart, and selfishness goes away, and people like to sacrifice everything, and that is what happened in that seva. It's really it's a memorable remembrance in my mind, that how we did the seva with daring, with all the news, all the difficulties. So I think what the lesson learned was that with the purity in the heart, Swami or our whoever deity is, he will come and help. At the same time, he will make us fearless, because the fear comes when we are selfish. But when we are going to for the others, I think that selfishness reduces its grip on us, and we can do more seva. So that is what they said, that love is fearless. Saira.
Sairam, thank you so much, Brother Manoj. It was so beautiful what you said in your experience that you shared earlier, especially when the selfless love comes, the selfishness drops. That's really very, very beautiful. And I think we can be in the organization and doing Swami's work for many years. Now I'm very sure we can all relate to that. When we go out and do seva and we practice selfless love, the selfishness drops, and then so does the identity of being the sheep, which causes the fear, worry, and all also drops eventually. So thank you. Now let's move to the second part of representation or the letter. Swami gives the analogy of the cloth. So Swami gives the analogy of the cloth. He says, just as a dhobi removes the dirt, man should try to regain his vision of the pure, effulgent self Atma by washing his heart in the water of love with the soap of steadfast faith on the stone of sacrifice. This is a very deep and a very profound analogy that Swami has shared here, using metaphors like love being the water, faith being the soap, and stone being sacrifice. And so the invitation is for anyone in the group to actually share what are your thoughts on this. What do you think Swami is trying to say here? Do you have any experience where you actually um, purified your mind or purified yourself by the love that you perhaps shared with someone, or and that the faith that you have, and also the sacrifice that you put? Anyone?
Brother Dr. Sabitan.
Yeah, Sairam,
Yeah, Saram. Yeah, I would like to be very frank over here.
Mhm,
Uh, I I read a lot and I understand a lot, but I feel that when come to practice, is very very weak. That is how I feel. I'm very very far away from what Swami described here.
mhm,
Sometimes in life, in my say working life, we have challenges. So even though we want to do good thing, I want to follow what Swami says, try to
mhm,
hold on to what he's teaching us. But frankly speaking, it's very hard, especially in work environment. Of course, when I go to temple, I go to center, I do this kind of help. I help out in the cooking, I help out in the whatever seva, and I do some donation and pass the rations to the recipient. We really feel all these things. But the moment we are not doing that, I feel that this thing is like very distant from me, you know,
mhm,
and I just do not know how to get closer to it. The only thing I know I closer to it when I do some kind of things like that. But very
mhm,
often, we don't really have that much of time. So that is
mhm.
my sincere what I understand I have felt. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brother Vincent, for sharing that. I think that's not only your struggle, but it's a lot of us working individuals or working adults struggle. We often have no time because we work from 8 to 5 every day. Some of us work to 8 to 10, and some of us have on calls. You have to work 24 hours, 24 hours. So it goes on and on like that. And to find time to share love, to do this, what Swami has said here, is can be challenging. But um, Swami also has said that beauty is worship, right? And and when no matter what you do, if you're even at work or even while you are in exercising or when you are elsewhere socializing, there'll always be a possibility for you to use this analogy to cleanse your heart. So the analogy that Swami gives here is that how can you cleanse the heart? You see here the cloth here is your heart, right? So our hearts are all tainted by darkness, by our unhealthy vasanas that stick, that our unhealthy habits, our negative, our lower desires, right? And so our heart no longer becomes transparent, full of light, but our heart becomes very heavy and dark. Swami says here that the way how to cleanse our heart is by love, faith, and sacrifice, just as what you would require to, just as what you would require to wash the cloth or your clothes, to cleanse them from the dirt. So similarly, just as you need water, soap, and also rock, right, which they use in those days. Nowadays, you just put in the washing machine. But similarly, uh, you would require all of these three things, all of these three, in order for you to um, realize your true self. And uh, I think one good example would be the recent the conference, right? The Sai conference, which was held in IDCC Shalam. I'm very sure the organizing team had made a lot of sacrifice, and there were a lot of challenges, a lot of challenges. Even the other day, Auntie Nalini was sharing with me how the Paduka only arrived the morning when they only received the clearance for the Paduka in the morning of the final day. And they were so afraid, not say afraid, they were worried that what if the devotees who had come all the way, they had already ordered the padukas and they already paid for the padukas and everything was stuck in the ashrams, and we couldn't get clear. And they were all waiting, especially Auntie Nalini was waiting when the paduka arrived. Will it ever arrive? And what if it doesn't arrive? What do they do with all the padukas? So they had so many thoughts about it. But all of them had the faith that somehow Swami would take care of it. Somehow Swami would take care of it. Just similar to when Satyajit, I think the Sai convention that we had in Mua a few years ago, and when Brother Satyajit didn't get his clearance, custom clearance to enter Malaysia, immigration clearance to enter Malaysia, and um, then they were so afraid. The organizing team was so, not to say they're worried, they were concerned. What if whether Satyajit is not able to conduct the satsang? Because initially whether Arvind Balasubramanian was supposed to do the satsangs, but then his father passed on during that period of time. So they managed to find Brother Satyajit, they managed to get Brother Satyajit to come down. And then during that period of time, he couldn't get his clearance, and it was the uncertainty was palpable in the air. And so all of them, they all held on to Swami's feet. They held on to Swami's feet. We have to hold on to Swami's feet because there's no any other choice. And Swami intentionally puts us in those situations where we have no other choice but to hold on to his feet. Recently, in the East Coast, we conducted the East Coast Sadhana Camp. The first sadhana camp after many years in the East Coast. And we decided to have it in Kuantan, just by the beach. It was a serene environment, and everybody loved it. But from the beginning, the Kuantan team, and during our meetings, they were continuously caution us that at this currently in Kuantan, that there's a thunderstorm going on every single day. And if you look at your weather forecast, every single day is thunderstorm at night, thunderstorm at night, thunderstorm at night. And a lot of places were starting to flood. And so during our meetings, they used to caution us again and again to get an indoor hall. And we had an indoor hall in the place that we had purchased or rented. Right, we had an indoor hall, but the indoor hall could only fit 50 devotees max. But right now we had more than 100 devotees. We're reaching about 150 devotees already, and we could the size of, the number of devotees could no longer be could not match the size of the hall. So we had no choice. Then we started to find other alternatives. We started to find from one other, indoor halls nearby, because we were so afraid that what if a thunderstorm happens at night? And it has been consistent throughout every single day. And after this and that and this and that and this, so many, till the last day, if the event starts on Friday, till Thursday, till Thursday, we had no hall, no indoor hall at all. And then from the beginning, I had in my vision, I always, the vision was we have it in the outdoor hall, but we just shade the outdoor hall. But the brothers in Kuantan, they said that it's impossible because the thunderstorm is really bad. No matter how we shade the hall, it's going to be a very bad downpour, and everything's going to be removed, and it's all going to come off. And that'll affect significantly, especially our electrical appliances and all that. And so the final day on Thursday, the events on Friday. So on Thursday, I we prayed to Swami. We had the faith. Of course, I had no choice. Swami puts us in that situation. I've been in that situation multiple times in the past, and I know that he's actually teaching me something. And the final hall that I called up, and the name of the hall is Bersera. The name of the hall is Dewan Bersera, Berserah. Bersera in Malay means surrender. And what are the odds, right? When you're trying to find so many indoor halls because you're so afraid of the weather, and the final hall that you find is its name Bersera, which is surrender. Surrender to the moment. And even that hall couldn't fit more than 100 participants, 100 devotees. They couldn't fit. And then I told the Kuantan members, the brothers, I said, brothers, we have no choice. We just go with plan B, which is we shield the outdoor hall and we put canvas and we close the entire hall and we just go on with it. So the brothers in Kuantan did a wonderful job. They really managed to do, like 2 layers of canvas and all that. But even beyond that, what was amazing was, dear brothers and sisters, Friday night, no thunderstorm. Saturday night, no thunderstorm. And even the caregiver or the caretaker of the entire place was shocked. How come there's a thunderstorm at the neighboring place, but the place where we had the sadhana camp, there was no thunderstorm? And so, dear brothers and sisters, Swami always says that he grants if you notice the first passage which came out, just like Brother Manoj mentioned, just like Sister Doreen mentioned, those who have faith in me, I grant them fearlessness. Those who have faith in me, I grant them fearlessness. And along with that faith, dear brothers, along with the soap, there's no use if there's soap only to wash your heart without water. How can you wash your heart without water? How can you wash your clothes without water, right? You need water. And without faith, the faith cannot exist without love. It cannot exist without love. How can you have faith even in your dog to take care of your house when you're away if you don't love your dog? If you don't love your dog, you will surely doubt your dog. This dog, surely you will start to sleep off and somebody comes and just go and whack his tail or you not. So if you don't have faith, it's coupled up with love. And above all that, dear brothers, the sacrifice is very important. When you really sacrifice, just like Sister Doreen said, regardless of whatever, they just sacrifice their time, sacrifice their effort. They went all the way out. The organizing team of the zonal conference, they sacrificed their time, sacrificed their effort, spent so much of money for the accommodation, spent so much money for everything. The padukas, they sacrificed everything, their time and whatnot. And ultimately, what happened? Transformation took place. They transformed. Not only did they wash their hearts with the water of love, soap of faith, stone of sacrifice, but they washed 500 plus people's heart with the water of love, soap of faith, and sacrifice of love. So this is the beauty of divine love. Swami says, be convinced that you are Atmaswarupa, Prema Atmaswarupa. Be convinced that you are God. When you wake up in the morning, be convinced that you are the God. And so As we come towards the end of our session here, I would like to conduct a short reflection.
Saram,
This is a
brother,
person. Yeah,
uh,
Sairam, brother. Say, sister, sorry, sorry.
can I share something which was like
Of course.
similar to, because this is really Swami.
Mm.
Remember our Sai school canteen day in
Yeah.
Malaysia?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was raining every day that week.
Yeah,
And
correct.
so on that Thursday, it was supposed to be on Saturday. So from Thursday onwards, I WhatsApp every Sai devotee I know, every WhatsApp group I know, to please pray that the weather will be fine, because it was raining every day. And I know that on Friday, people will be going there to set up tent, to prepare everything. And if it rain, the whole field is on the field, it will be muddy. And it will be
Yeah.
so difficult for everyone to come and enjoy the Sai school canteen day, the educare carnival on the Saturday. And amazingly, there was not a drop of rain the whole Saturday. And so we could carry out the school canteen day. Was a great success. There was no rain at all. And personally, I just want to share, because I don't live in Selangor, I live in another state. And so the next day when I reached Seramban, the moment my car came near my entrance of my house, it started raining. So I was so shocked. I was really thankful to Swami that the rain held back until I even reached home, you know. So it was really amazing. There was not a drop of rain on that whole day until Sunday, until I reached home. So I felt that Swami was really looking after all of us and after Sai school as well, to have a successful canteen day. I really felt similar to what you said about the Southerner camp in East Coast. I was also praying for y'all because I know East Coast will have more rain than West Coast. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sister Doreen. Yeah. So sometimes we worry about things that we cannot control. You know, part of psychology is for a healthy mindset is to stop worrying about things you cannot control. And yet, every day, in and out, we worry about things we cannot control. And one great example is the weather.
Yes.
But yeah,
Brother Sabita,
but yeah,
Sairam,
yeah, Sairam system, Sairam,
and Maya.
Sairam system.
Yeah. Can I share an incident? A very quick one.
Of course, sister, go ahead.
I met you at the conference, you know.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Nowadays I feel a lot of love, a lot, after hearing Baba's talks and all that, you know. So I've become, I am a loving person. I've become more now. So whoever I meet, whatever, I will just fold my hands like namaste and this, and speak very lovingly with everyone. In the hospital, I had checkup recently. I'll talk to the doctor, the nurses. And one of them even came up, you are the first patient to bless us. I was so happy, you know. And today also I had a surgery. And, they were very happy. I was talking to them very lovingly. And they were like so, thankful, you know, that I was speaking so lovingly with them. And then what happened was, one of my hospital visits, I had gone to a cubicle and I saw a phone there, you know, and I saw this girl coming out from the cubicle. And she was actually a Myanmarese maid. And I took her phone. I didn't know what to do. I was just standing outside of the toilet. And I was praying that this lady should come soon because I can't wait too long. And which office do I give? Because it's a big hospital, Singapore General Hospital. I was waiting and waiting, praying as well. And suddenly she ran up. She ran towards the toilet and I said, is this your phone? She said, yeah. It is. She was so happy. She kept on hugging me and hugging me non-stop. And that day I felt so happy. I said, Baba, please let me do such things. where I can touch people's heart, where I can love them and they can love me as well. You know, that is one. Number two, thanks to Brother James, I had called him for some Johor contact, and he gave me brother's name by the name of Krishnan. I wanted to call somebody in Johor to get connected to an orphanage to do some donation. So Brother Krishnan told me that we are also doing some, ration seva. And sister, we used to serve 80 families. He brought up his own story, and 80 families, but now we have cut down to 25 because funds are very low. And we have taken all the families, there's 25 families who are in abysmal condition, totally bad. So it kept me thinking. I said, okay, let me see what I can do. So I contacted all my Singapore friends, and I can't say we managed to to fund for at least 6 months. And I told him, brother, the collection is for 6 months, and you can rest assured for 6 months you'll get the donation. And so what happened was I went to Johor with my husband. So my husband was saying, it is Protasi. I have to serve 8,000 people in the Perumal temple. I said, no, you have to come here. So he said, okay. So he went with me. I told him, and when he saw the condition, he was very sad, and he was like, he felt very empathetic, and he said, I told him, this is your biggest protasi. You have gone to give them the ration bag, the rice, and some of them mentally challenged, and they were in very poor condition, blind. And then after that, now we are trying to gather a few groups who can come and see, and they can make collections in their own way, to fund this. And what happened was, Brother Krishnan, that day, he had a bhajan session. And he said, sister, I was mentioning that, so what happened, he said that the day when you called, this Chinese group had withdrawn. They said, after this, we are not going to help because this is our last donation we are giving, because we are also getting old, and for them also, I think it was difficult to, And he said, he told his brother, Dr. Nanda, that, now they are all withdrawing. And that same day when this guy stopped, after maybe a few minutes or hours, I had called him regarding the orphanage, and he said, see how, and he told the bhajan group that one lady from Singapore came. I said, brother, why did you mention names? He said, no, I was not mentioning anybody's name. I was just talking about the Singapore team. And I was speaking about Baba's glory, like how, he played his role, and he was so, one person withdrawing and another person coming in the same day, because they were all very worried where the funds are going to come from. So that is what I wanted to share. Thank you, and Sairam.
Thank you, Sister Maya. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to hear that from you. It's wonderful, wonderful. Sometimes when the love that you like, just when Sister said that she feels so much of love within ourselves, right? And sometimes we forget that the source of love is actually within ourselves.
Yes.
Right? It is not outside of us, it is within us. And that is the whole point of spirituality, is to realize that this source of love is actually inside of us. Like when you meet your mother, or you meet your father, or you meet someone you love, someone you care, you play with your pet, that love is not outside your body, not outside yourself, but it's originating from your heart. It's coming out from your heart.
Yes.
So if that presence is within that heart, what's stopping you from tapping to that love every single day during your sadhana?
Correct.
So realizing that the inherent divinity of this love is God Himself, or I'm not sure if I can use himself because that indicate that God has a gender, but uh, but but uh, God is love. God is love. There is nothing else besides that. There's only love. And when we cultivate through gratitude, to counting our blessings in life, when we follow the 21-day sadhana, every day we do the 10-finger gratitude practice in the morning. And and so many stories to share, and so much of love, so much of kindness, so much of compassion when you cultivate gratitude in your heart. And every time when you sit down and you do loving kindness or metta or any kind of jyoti meditation, when you bring out the love from within yourself, people tend to think that jyoti meditation is focusing on light. What light is it? What light is it? It's not the fluorescent light in your house. That's not light. That is not. When we say light, jyoti means immediately we start to associate that with light. It's not light. It's love. It's love. Jyoti meditation is all about divine light of love. It's the love within ourselves that we are bringing out. We are tapping. If you still feel Jyoti meditation is mechanical, it only means that you have not tapped into that love yet. Your meditation is not deep enough. Once you start to experience that love every time you do Jyoti meditation in the morning, once you start bringing that love to different parts of your body, and you start experiencing the bliss that will start to burst through your cells, because that love that you share to your heart, to your kidneys, to your abdomen, to your brains, to your eyes, to your mouth, to your tongue, to your ears, all of it will start to reverberate in that love. That love becomes so strong within yourself. And then you expand this love to include your family members, those who are keen to you, those who are not keen to you. They too deserve. This is called compassion. Compassion. You're training your mind to be compassionate. You're expanding that love even beyond that to all those people who are in need throughout the entire in the world, and then expanding it to the creatures in the forest, creatures in the sea, in the mountain, in the whole world is filled with love. And don't forget that you are the source of that love. And once you tap into that love, you can very easily feel connected to the entire universe itself. Because the only thing tying you and everything else in the whole cosmos is not gravity, is not electricity, is not energy, is only love. And so, dear brothers and sisters, when there is love, there cannot be fear. And when there's fear, there cannot be love. And so let us move to the final part of today's presentation as personal reflection. So I'm going to guide you through a short contemplative exercise. So you can do this by either sitting down quietly in a place. Please ensure that there's very minimal distractions around you. And then if you have a piece of paper around you or pen with you, that would be great. Just grabbing a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil beside you. We'll give everyone about 30 seconds or so, or 1 minute to just grab a piece of paper and a pen. Okay, just making sure that you're away from distraction. And in this practice, if you could weigh your worries or weigh your fears, like on an imaginary scale, right? We want to work with a worry which is at a number 3 or number 4, or a fear that is number 3 or number 4. Don't work with a fear which is number 10. Okay, that means 10 means extreme fear. 0 means no fear at all. So a fear at number 3 or number 4, maybe an old fear or fear that has been recurring over a period of time, right? And so we want to work with that fear in this practice. Okay, so when I guide you later, even though your mind may suggest the most recent fear, but please do not contemplate on that fear, because what will happen is flooding will happen. Flooding means that your fear will consume you and you will not be able to contemplate on the exercise. Okay, so choose a fear which is an old fear, which is at number 3 or number 4 out of 10. Not a very severe one, it's a very low, mild fear. Okay, all right, let's start. Okay, dear brothers and sisters, let's sit for a short contemplative exercise. The invitation now is to adopt a posture that symbolizes alertness, sensing into the contact points between the feet and the floor, buttocks to the seat, spine upright but not stiff. Relaxing your facial muscles, shoulder muscles. And when it feels right, the invitation is to close your eyes and gently bring your awareness to the natural flow of the breath. We're not trying to change the breath in any ways. We're just relaxing, observing the natural flow of the breath as it moves in and out of the body. And with each breath, you feel your body relax, your mind clearing, and your heart opening. And the invitation now is to drop in these questions. Question 1. Think of a small, recurrent fear that you have. Think of a small, recurring fear that you have. Which voice is it coming from? The lion or the sheep? Question 1. Think of a small recurring fear you have. Which voice is it coming from? The lion or the sheep? Allowing this question to sink within your heart, not actively looking for the answer, but allowing the answer to come, to pop up in your consciousness. Question 2. How can an act of selfless love, how can an act of selfless love help you face that fear? How can an act of selfless love help you face that fear? And now, just relaxing, not actively looking for answers, just relaxing until you hear the closing bell. Gently wiggling your toes and fingers and allowing your eyes to open when it feels comfortable for you. Welcome back, everyone, on the contemplative exercise. And now I'm sure you have your pen and papers around you and in front of you. So the questions are on the screen if you had forgotten them. But if you are clear on the recurring fear, just jot them down. It's a personal reflection. So what is that recurring fear that you have? Question 1 is that voice, that thought coming from the lion or the sheep? And the question 2 is a continuation of question 1. How can an act of selfless love help you face that fear? How can an act of selfless love, for whatever fear that you have, right? Or selfless love for the person or pet or any other cause, help you face that fear? Okay. So we'll give everyone a minute or so to write down their reflections. Another 30 seconds. Okay, so let's invite one or two of you who is willing to share their fears. Part of coming out from the fear cycle is being able to be vulnerable in front of people. And that is one step, or when you're vulnerable in front of people, means to say that you have come out of that fear of being judged by others for your vulnerabilities. So let's see if any one of you would like to share what fear that you have identified in your contemplative exercise, and what measures can you take in practicing selfless love, to address that fear. Anyone? Ryan?
Sabitan, Saira.
Sairam, auntie. So nice to hear your voice.
Yeah. Just go back to those questions again.
Can auntie. Very good.
Yeah. So, this, I've always been a lion when it comes to my SSC classes. And and I've always asked, it's a kind of a bond between Swami and me. And
Yeah.
I've told Swami, look at here, I'm doing your work, and I don't want you to cause an impediment in the form of in the form of rain, to come between the parents and the class.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to make sure that it does not rain.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I've done 40 years, more than 40 years of SSC, and never has it rained before I come, before all of them come. Once they come, it will rain in torrents. It will rain in torrents. And then I always tell them, you can control the weather, children. And the children will look incredulously at me, but they'll believe me because it has been proven. All right. And that was the lion in me. But I'm ashamed to say that last Sunday I was the sheep, because for Swami's birthday, I trained children for bhajans. And on Sunday, weeks before Sunday, because I'm always like that, I prepare much, much earlier. Weeks before Sunday, I told all the parents, look, the practice is at 3 p.m. and they know me. If it's at 3 p.m., they wouldn't dare come even a minute late, because I insist on punctuality, and they know that. So everybody was ready. 2 p.m., and I was telling Swami, please make sure the weather is okay. But no, 2 p.m., there was a storm, terrible storm. And then I gave in. I just gave in, and I told all the parents, okay, looks as if we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for the rain to stop. I think it's either 3:30 or 4. People who did not read braved the rain and came to the center, and I was still not there. You know why? Because I did not have faith in Swami. Sure enough, by 2:45, the rain stopped. That was Swami, But look at my faith. It dwindled when it came to the bhajan practice, So there are times for SSC, it's a lion. For other things, it's a lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Anyone else who would like to share?
Saira,
Sairam, Sister Rajesh.
I was always having a fear that is during my death I should suffer. I should die as a maranam.
Yeah.
So only that fear I have. I don't have any other fear. I have,
Yeah.
and when it comes to that, I'm a sheep. But when I have faith in God, nothing will happen. Mommy, take care. I become a lion. Yeah, that's only the thing they have.
Okay.
Saira.
Thank you, Sister Rajesh. Anyone else would like to share? Sairam, good morning.
See, I used to always have a claustrophobic. I used to always have a fear that if I'm stuck in the lift, I'll start sweating.
Yeah.
So it used to happen that if the door doesn't open, I'm alone. There's always a fear, but that fear goes off if I'm thinking of something else. So one day I was going to Sai Center, and the lift is very bad and it's jumps. But suddenly that day the thought came that, what will happen? Someday I have to die. And someday if I have to die in the lift, nobody's going to help me. So why to live in the fear of getting stuck? The actual situation is not. And that day I told myself, no, let me think of the worst. What will happen? And if I'm stuck, let it be like an hour, 2 hours, somebody will come in. I feel that day the confidence level was so much that I just jumped up, because normally I think I would take a stairs and go up and avoid this. But the thing is, that day I moved up and down. and there was no fear. But it will keep coming in some situations. That's why I think that still the game is going on between sheep and the lion. And hopefully I will overcome someday. Say that.
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Manoj. So, thank you everyone for sharing that. Swami has given the wonderful analogy, right, where the way to cleanse our heart and purify our heart is through the water of love, the soap of faith, and also the stone of sacrifice. So we need all three of this. For most of us, in all the situations which were shared, all the fears that were shared just now, there was one of these three components which were missing. Some had love and sacrifice, but maybe less faith. Some had maybe less love, but more sacrifice and also more faith. So ultimately, there must be a combination of all of these three to reach that stage of fearlessness which comes from the Atma. And so, thank you everyone for sharing this. I think in our previous satsangs, we have not shared an intimate fear, something like this. So I again thank all of those of you who were spotting enough to go through the personal reflection and also work on your own fears, right? And sharing your fears in public with our small group here, our small brothers and group of brothers and sisters here, that also requires a lot of courage and a lot of love and a lot of faith and also a lot of sacrifice. And so with that, let's end today's satsang with Swami saying, why fear when I am here? Remember the fearlessness, loving sign is always within you. And every day, find some time to sit with yourself. Find some time to connect to that seed of love which is present in your heart. Don't let when your thoughts take you away from it, come back to that love. Come back again and again and again and again and again until your entire life, your entire being, in every part of your brain cells and all the organs are soaked with this love. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. It was a great pleasure. I think Swami really answered my prayer. Last week, I was a bit, I won't lie, I was a bit upset that I didn't get to finish the presentation. and that dissatisfaction carried at least a day because it took me some time to prepare the presentation and then find the contents and everything. And I thought, it's okay, never mind. At least I don't have to think about it. There's so many other things. And then today, when Badbiri asked me to present again, I felt like, okay, looks like someone hurt my brain. So with this, thank you so much, Jai Sai Ram. Lots of love, lots of kindness, lots of compassion. Don't forget to show that not only outside, which we are all experts at showing love outside of ourselves, to our family, to our friends, to our neighbors, to our dogs, to our cats, to our pets, to our plants, to the nature, to everyone else. We are we are expert to share that love outside, but please do not forget to share that love inside, to look within yourself and find that you are that embodiment of love. With that, thank you so much, Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, thank you, Dr. Sabitan, and thank you all of you all for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Satsang, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram.
Hi, Ram. Thank you, brother.
Hi, Sat. Thank
Sai
you.
Ram. Sai Ram, thank you.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Good
Thank
night.
you, Sairam.
Ram.
Um,